Good morning, everybody. I'm running late because I had to take kids to school and get them to early tutoring and all that good stuff this morning. So, yeah, but I'm here. You're going to probably hear my dogs crying in the back because I have not let them out. They're still trapped in their kennel over there, wanting me to go pay attention to them. But paying attention here first. So, this morning's topic is to play with your imagination. And last night I was at Disney on Ice with my youngest two, and that's probably where this is kind of stemming from. But on the Disney on Ice, it was all about princesses that are heroes and following their dream and all this different stuff. It was a great presentation on ice and everything. Very, very fun. But as I watched the Disney on Ice and, just kind of like, it was just the imagination that each one of the characters was bringing up. And the baseline message was to follow your heart, to follow your dream, and that love is always the answer. And I was like, that's just, it's true. It's true. As much as I'm not a big cartoon Disney fan overall for all the stuff that they can teach, that stuff right there is very accurate. That it really is about what we can imagine, what we can dream, following our heart's desires, and keeping it love-based. Love really does heal everything and guide us so perfectly. So I thought, why not this morning talk a little bit about playing with our imagination. In Conscious Coffees, I try to keep it a little bit more focused on creation work, on manifestation work, and consciously living life and what that can do for you, which is why hence the name Conscious Coffee in the morning. It's not that I'm awake or that you're awake at 6 a.m.-ish or 6:42, I think is when I hit the go live button this morning. It's not that we're awake at these hours, not that form of consciousness, but to be conscious, to be present and aware in our life and realize that we are conscious creators of our experiences, of our days, of our life, not just here getting sloshed around by everything else. So part of the biggest thing that we experience when we become conscious is this creative flow, this desire. And another word for desire is imagination. We desire things, but what are we doing? We're imagining something more, something that we want, something that we really crave, these things that we want to experience. This comes from imagination. This comes from our deepest heart space, and it's calling to us. And there's this statement that, I don't remember, maybe it's in A Course in Miracles or something, but don't hold me to that. Don't quite know where I got it from. Tons of education study, but it is that what you want wants you too. And that just means that you're sending out this frequency, this ripple of energy out into the world with your desires as they come in. And I saw something float around behind me. It's not there if I turn around. So we send out these cool desires that go out from our heart space, and they have a certain energy to them. And what they do is that they ripple out, and they actually go out, and all of a sudden things start to create out there. Now, pulling it into us, which is the whole law of attraction, right? We're not working for it. We're not going out to get it. We are pulling it in. Law of attraction. It's magnetism based. And realizing that we are each a magnet for what is coming into our life. When we become a conscious creator, it means that we are consciously imagining and creating the life that we want, not doing all this hard work trying to chase after something. Okay, so often what we do in our physical and our real world experience, we get caught up in our heads and we start to try to chase after things instead of letting them come to us. And other things will come to us and we don't even realize that we are actually attracting them to us. Okay, so that's that stuff like you rear end somebody and you're like, well, I didn't attract that into my life. Or somebody breaks up with you, you lose your job, and we tend to focus in on these negative things because we're like, we didn't attract that, I didn't attract that, I didn't attract that. You attracted it. You attracted it because you were focused on what you didn't have and the lack of having this desire actually in your life. So whether you were understanding it or not, you were unconsciously creating that experience to come into your life, magnetizing that in. By becoming a conscious creator and actively being a participant in your own imagination, you're now consciously pulling stuff into your life. The trick, if you go through my conscious coffees and through different trainings that I have out, or if you're just working with me one-on-one, because I know that I have some of my clients that watch this as well, you're going to hear me say this over and over again, right? It's an inside game. It's an inside game. Have to do this, have to do that. And it's all about doing the internal work to magnetize things to us. And one of the biggest steps to that is to recognize that you are responsible for everything that comes into your life. So ownership of the good, the bad, the ugly, the I don't care, everything, okay? So own it all and then let it go. Okay, so owning it does not mean to sit around and just wait around in it and get stuck in your muck. Okay, you're not getting stuck in your shit. What you are doing is you're just going, okay, I did that. That was me. I created that. And now I need to see what I need to get from that, which means releasing those programs, the attention that you're applying to the not having instead of the attention that you should be applying to the desire and the feeling that having it will give you. And that is where the creative imagination, to just sit in that creative imagination and play with it. Just 5 minutes a day. That's it. 3 to 5 minutes a day. You just take 3 to 5 minutes a day and do this exercise that I'm going to share with you here. It will change your scope on life, okay? I am going to put out the little spin to this, that I do strongly suggest you go back through the conscious coffees and you look at some of my messages on Wednesdays where I'm talking about desire and belief, because you have to have a strong level of belief and a strong level of desire to actually manifest things into your life, okay? So you need to definitely learn about that right there. If you are desiring something big time, but you don't have the belief level to support it, it's not going to manifest very quickly into your life. It's just going to kind of sit out there and circle in your world, and then you're going to get discouraged and frustrated and go, this isn't showing up, and that's just going to make you focus more on the not having it, okay? So imagination is not about looking at your tangible real world experience that you're in right now. It's about casting out a net, casting out your line, and attaching it to something that is off in the future, and then sending out the belief that you can actually create it. And by that, I mean that you're sending out that belief, which means that you're feeling it right here. Okay, so you're in the emotion of already having it, not the emotion of not having it. The exercise that I want you to do for 3 to 5 minutes is, let me get coffee before I go off on this little rampage. So, an exercise for 3 to 5 minutes that I'm going to suggest you do. Hey, good morning, Crystal. Is that I want you just to sit with your eyes closed in a comfortable space, either sit or lay. And then I want you just to allow yourself to drift off into this feeling, this picture in your head of maybe you need to pull from something in the past. Maybe you want to create something new. It doesn't much matter either way. But what I want you to do is I want you just to get into this creative mode of just a feeling, a sensation, and allow a picture to, don't force the picture, allow it to emerge as it comes up. And then you can make little changes to it as you go. Realize that you want to be a little bit more open-minded to the picture and let it form, and so that you're not getting too detailed about it on the front side, just because we're getting into the feeling, not into the massive details of the creation, okay? So if you're really wanting a new car, let's say, just imagine sitting in this car. Bring yourself into the sense of what it might smell like, what it might feel like. Feel the, maybe it's leather seats. Feel the leather seats underneath your skin. Imagine touching the steering wheel. Imagine, close your eyes and take yourself on one of the best roads that you've ever been on, and feel yourself moving on that road in that new car, okay? So imagine that. Picture a sunset or a sunrise and you're coming up over a mountain hill. Feel what that feels like. Not so much on what color the car is, okay? Get into the feeling of what it is like to be in the car, to experience the car, to take a road trip in this car, that kind of thing. And just allow yourself to take a 3 to 5 minute spin in your head in this new automobile. I'm using an automobile, obviously. Do this with whatever you might be focusing in on. If you're focusing in on pulling a soulmate into your life, a love relationship into your life, maybe you imagine yourself snuggled up in bed and spooning with this person. Maybe you're snuggled and watching the sunset, and you can imagine just holding their hand or something like that. Good morning, Addison, Delta, Lori. So you guys popping up. So whatever it is that you're wanting to experience, if it's more money, then experience that feeling of what it feels like to have more money in your bank account. More, not necessarily like I want a $30,000 pay raise, but what does it feel like to have that security of having money in the bank, or being able to be spontaneous and just buy something and not have to go, is my card gonna swipe, that kind of thing. Get out of the feeling of not having the card work, or going, oh man, now I'm gonna have to justify this some way or do this. Just get into the feeling of what it would feel like and feel it now. Okay, so whatever the scenario is that you want to pull in, 3 to 5 minutes of getting into the feeling of what it feels like to live like that, to have that experience in your life right now. And if you do that practice for just 5 days, start noticing over the course of 5 days of that 3 to 5 minute practice of just pulling this in. Okay, and just keep it consistent. Take that, if you're driving the new car, take that new car out every single day for just 3 to 5 minutes. I don't care when in the day you do this. Just be in a relaxed state, okay? Just be in a relaxed state. Allow yourself that 3 to 5 minutes, and then start noticing what starts manifesting into your life. What is coming into your life? What are you starting to magnetize to you? You will, with just that 3 to 5 minute practice, start noticing different things coming into your life. And I guarantee you that they're all going to be things that are going to either be leading you towards what you have set yourself in alignment to, with the new car, the soulmate, the job promotion, whatever it is, okay? Whatever that is, things will start to move you closer to that. Or you may just all of a sudden, along with that, you're going to notice that you're going to have lots of other little blessings popping up, things that bring that good feeling into your life, that support that good feeling. So God wants you to have these good things. God wants you to be, turned on, excited, pumped up, thriving in life. And the way to access that is to actually feel it right now. But what ends up happening is that we imagine the worst. We get caught up in the worry. We get caught up in the stress. We get caught up in the what ifs. And then all of a sudden we have a lot of these what ifs forming in our life because we are imagining that negative scenario versus the positive scenario. And in any moment, even though this moment right here is exactly what you're living in, realize that this moment only manifested itself because of what you were thinking yesterday, last week, last month, okay? So it's here because of what you were thinking. If you want tomorrow to be different, start thinking something different, plain and simple. Okay, so that's that understanding that you are the creator of everything, and it is through your imagination that you are going to birth something new into your existence. So really start to just play with it. I mean, that's play. Play, 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 play. Play with the imagination, get creative, and just really don't focus necessarily in on like the details. Like I was talking about, I want a red car. All right, forget what color the car is. You just want to feel this new car ride, okay? And allow yourself to experience that joy and that higher elevation of what you're feeling in that moment. If you feel negativity about something that is coming up when you are doing this, that means that you're not really in alignment to it yet. It doesn't mean that you can't have it. It just means that you're not in alignment to it yet. So you have more internal work on your belief of deserving it and being able to pull it in that you can have it. That's where the work is. It's not that you can't have it. It's the belief factor that is holding you back, that's going to cause you to feel that squirminess in your gut, maybe clogged up in your throat, a heaviness in your chest or shoulders or neck. So you're not fully in alignment to receiving that. There's not this, elated joy that is coming up and this childlike enthusiasm of like, ooh, I get to have that. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, good morning, Steve. Hey, good morning, Ray. It's a pleasure to share with everybody. It really is. So yeah. So there's this morning's conscious coffee. I'm not going to keep it horribly long today. I'm going to just keep it very light. And I hope that everybody actually takes that practice and goes out and just spends that 3 to 5 minutes of conscious practice time playing with your imagination. On that note, if anybody is interested in learning a more in-depth practice and some of the things that I have done to manifest things into my life and proven stuff from, my goodness, I pulled from Napoleon Hill, I pulled from Course in Miracles, Abraham Hicks, the Bible, you name it, I have it all in there. I do have a fantastic course out called Feel Good Now that I just completed just the other day, so it is up on my website. I will make sure there's a link on this thread as well, so that you guys have that. But I go into actual deeper conversation and different things that you can do to really work with that imagination and start manifesting stuff into your life. But dealing with this conscious coffee, if anything in here was helpful to you, hit the little share button down at the bottom. And thank you for all your love this morning. Thank you for the comments. Happy to see that there's so many people on too this morning. And I love you guys, and I will catch you tomorrow morning for the last conscious coffee of this week. But I hope that you guys go out and have a fantastic day of creative, playful imagination. See you tomorrow. Bye.